Hello guys, Crafty here, and welcome to my beta impressions of Tom Clancy's The Division. Now, a friend of mine was very generous in donating me a beta key, and I've been playing this since its release, I think on the 28th, whatever it was. It's now February 1st. They actually extended the beta for a day. This is on PS4 for those that are curious. Now, what are my impressions of The Division? Wow. Like I said, I've been playing for a couple days now. I've done pretty much everything. As you can see, I'm level 8, which is the max for the PvE portion. I'm also level 12 in the Dark Zone, which I will explain in a minute. Now, what is The Division? The Division is kind of a third-person sort of mashup between... Well, it's kind of as if Gears of War and Borderlands had a baby. You have Gears of War's cover system, the rolling. Pretty much the only thing they didn't take from Gears of War is pretty much the reload system, which is kind of interesting. But as you can see, cover system's pretty cool. Now, when I say the Borderlands loot, I guess, if you want to really call it that. Inventory. Now, as you can see here, there's a whole bunch of pretty colors, and all of the weapons have, well, stats. It's an RPG. So you have, guns that do more damage, that give you special abilities, and so forth and whatnot. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the Division is, in its basic form, not a whole lot of information is totally released, but apparently there was a virus that was released in New York. 95% of the population seems to be immune from what I gather on the radio, because there's a radio that plays. But for those that are affected, I don't think they've really explained what the virus actually does to you. Not that I recall, at least. But this is the base of operations, or the BOO, as you will have it referred to many times. They just shorten it to BOO because base of operations. You get the idea. You are an operative in something called the Division. Basically, your job is to go about and, well, honestly, in the beta they don't really cover too much of what you're actually doing. But in the base of operations, what you're doing, you can't actually access most of it. But there's 3 wings in here: the security wing, the medical wing, and the tech wing. As you do story missions and stuff, you will unlock new upgrades for Medical Wing, Tech Wing, and Security Wing. As you can see, it's offline. It's not available in the beta. But you can go do all sorts of neat, nifty things. Upgrading the wings will actually give you access to new skills, as you can see here. Your supplies are gained through doing missions and so forth and whatnot. The more things you unlock, you can actually upgrade your skills, so it is somewhat useful. Can't really go too much into it because there's not too much to talk about. Now, pretty much you can, with your inventory, you have your weapons, you have a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary, I guess. It's your sidearm, pretty much. But the way you change these in the PS4 is with triangle. I think you double tap for the sidearm. I've never really used it. I've never really had a chance to, or not a chance, but a reason to. But you have all sorts of different rarities. You have your green, which is I forget what they're actually called. Standard. Green is standard. The next up is blue, which is specialized, and then you have purple, which is superior, and then you have I believe it's an orange tier. It's either orange or yellow, depending on. My color blindness kicks in. Yeah, I haven't gotten any. And this purple is one I've purchased in the Dark Zone. Your gear, again, gives you armor, but there's also 3 stats. There is firearms, stamina, and electronics. If you raise your firearm stat, as you can see, most of the gear will give you one of the 3, if not 2. This one gives me firearms, as you can see there by that little bullet icon. This gives me health for stamina, and oh, there you go. That gives me firearms and stamina. I have nothing for electronics. But electronics, raising your electronics will raise your skill power, which means your healing will be better, your bombs will be better. Not your bombs, your skill bombs. There's one skill that's let's see, blah blah blah. Yes, you have 3 tech skills or 3 tech trees. You have medical, tech, and security. Security, the basic one that's unlocked in the beta, is a riot shield. Pretty much, you can only use your sidearm when you have the shield out. The tech tree gives you a little sticky bomb that you shoot down, and you can detonate it, which we'll get into the shenanigans with that later, with Dark Zone and extraction points. And then you have medical. You have a tactical scanner and first aid. First aid was unlocked when I upgraded the medical base, and pretty much these are the only skills you have to play with in the beta. Now the tech tree, sorry, R1. Not available in beta. Okay, well, there you go. Basically, you get a base tactical scanner. You hit it, and it shows you all the enemies on the map. But when you upgrade it, you can actually give it one of 3 abilities. Mine is I do more damage against those that are highlighted for a certain amount of time. So that's the base of operations. Not really much to talk about. I mean, you have a currency. The currency can be used to purchase gear,
right here,
weapons, so forth and whatnot. Nothing I really like right there. But since we're here, you have marksman rifles, you have submachine guns, you have shotguns, you have light machine guns, and you have assault rifles. Some right here, assault rifles. So you got a pretty good array, and they all feel different. They should. They're all different. Period. They all have their own accuracy, reload speed, range, and stability, and you actually can find modifications for them to raise or lower stats. Give you more of a particular stat. So I can go into mods right here. These are the mods I have on my marksman rifle. You can give it different scopes, different zooms. I can give it a red dot, so instead of clicking to bring up a crosshair, it just zooms in a little bit. I can give it an actual sniper scope, which is 12 time. The scope I have currently does not zoom in too much, but its stats are pretty decent. That's not what I wanted to do. What did I actually do? Oh, I just switched them. Okay, but you can switch your primary and your secondary. Doesn't really matter. Let's actually go back into it because, okay, accuracy, reload speed, range, and stability. Marksman rifle, 180% extra headshot damage. Really, really strong. You have its damage, its mag size, all that stuff. The higher level, like your purples, your blues, it starts with blues. It'll give you certain talents. And as you can see here, this purple has 2 different talents. This talent is sustained. Killing a target increases your health by 4%. Really cool. You unlock that with 52 firearm and 92 stamina. So you actually have to somewhat work your gear around your weapons if you want to maximize their stuff, and it's completely random as well what talents your weapons actually get. Now the other talent on it is prepared. I don't have enough firearms yet, but I really want to get it because it's perfect for a marksman rifle. Do 5% more damage when very far from your opponent. So that will be something that I am looking into. Now this one, there it is. This one only has balanced. It reaches max accuracy faster when shouldering. Again, it has prerequisites of firearms and stamina. Some things have prerequisites of electronics. Fun stuff. I have a really nice shotgun, self-preserved, critical hits heal me, which is pretty cool, I think. It's a fully automatic shotgun with only a 7-round mag, but it's okay. Alright, what else can we talk about here? There is actually a lot to talk about. Let's go to the options menu right here. So, of course, this is a fully online game, much like Destiny. You can't pause it, even in the quote-unquote PvE area where you do missions. You have your intel, which is stuff you collect during the game. Group management, which is kind of cool. You go into group management, and you can actually find your friends and where they are. What level they are and what level they are in the Dark Zone. You can invite them to the group. You can make them leader. You can actually fast travel to players who are in the same zone. So, we'll get into that in a minute, too. Let's see here. You have your map. I'll show you the map when we get outside. Did the abilities, the inventory. Again, you have, a chest piece, a mask, knee pads, holster, and your gloves, and your backpack. which are all fully... like, what I can do is... I can unmark it for destruction. You can actually deconstruct stuff into crafting components and craft your own stuff. Not available in the beta, can't really show you, sorry. But all the gear looks different, and unfortunately I don't have any different gear to equip, which kind of sucks. But what I can show you is... I can go over to Appearance. And this game has pretty much a bunch of different things. You can fully customize your character with all the gear that you find. All of the appearance clothing does not do anything for you except for just make you look different. I mean, you have all of these, you know, simple cargo pants, and it all morphs and changes to fit your character. Like, you can wear shoes or, you know, hiking boots, give or take, whatever. Okay, let's go out into the actual world here. Now, there are contaminated zones that show up as red on the map, and I will try to show you some of them. Okay, now we're good. As before, you know, it's a typical shooter. You aim, you can fire. You know, of course, it's an assault rifle, it's weapon climb. Your standard reload. Your skills are tied to your L1 and R1. Normally, I would swap these, but in the beta, there is no shoulder swap buttons. I don't know why I prefer to aim and fire with the R1, L1. Stupid preference, I know. Go ahead and yell at me. But with the healing, you can either shoot down for an area so you can heal your teammates, or you can be greedy and just tap it and heal yourself. Now you have med kits on the right directional button, which I don't need right now. And this civilian is in need, so he needs a soda. I have a soda in my inventory, so I'll give him one. It gives me experience, and he drops me some nice clothing, which is nice, right next to the dead guy. Thanks, that's great. So, this is the map. The map is fully, I would say digitized, but it's kind of stupid to say that. But apparently this is how big the game is going to be. This small little red area, how big this little red area is what's available in the beta. I think they said something like 10% of the game is available. So we're actually going to set a waypoint right here. And of course that waypoint shows me where I need to go. Now hopefully I'll run into an enemy or two before we get to the dark zone. Now as you can see here, there is a little standoff between a hungry dog and two civilians, and for some reason the dog is acting like... Don't look at me like that. Don't be happy. Don't be happy. Alright. As soon as I aimed my gun at him, he kind of like, oh, I wasn't doing nothing, man. I wasn't doing nothing. You have your typical sprints. Like I said, you have your roll. You have your Gears of War combat roll, really. You can stick to cover, like so. You can vault on top of things with the circle button. You can actually vault over things as well. There's a parkour mode which allows you to vault over things without having to press a button. It gets really weird when you want to stick to cover. So I really would not suggest doing that. Dude, do you have a key? Want me to help you? Here you go. There you go. Where you going? I helped you open the door. Where you going? The door's open. Alright, screw him. What was I going on about? Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the dark zone. So there's missions in here that you can play. I did them all. I can't really show you one. This is the only real mission that they have in the game so far. This unlocks your medical ward. But I'm not going to get too much into that. It's an MSG, which is kind of cool, in Madison Square Garden. So you get to go into the garden and see all their details and how they've pretty much replicated, you know, block by block New York City, which is kind of cool. I mean, they couldn't use a lot of... Oh, by the way, everything is mostly fully destructive, so, you know, have fun with that. Have fun going to R. Oh, no, too bad. Damn. I'm like a freaking... I'm like a squirrel here.
Active echo beacon detected.
Oh, by the way, your controller also talks to you. Okay. No, I'm just gonna walk away from that. Okay. Again, vehicles, much like everything else, are fully destructible. I can actually shut this door, which is kind of cool. I mean, if you watched the... I mean, it's really cool, too, how the glass shatters, you know, nearly perfectly, which is kind of cool. Anyway. Oh, by the way, you can also shoot the tires out, which is kind of cool. There you go. There, we're going to need that anyway. I mean, not everything has that ability, as you can see. Oh. No, I'd prefer not to do that right now, actually. Let's do it at the distance. This is going to be a lot longer than I expected it to be. And it's empty. Which kind of makes sense, because I'm sure don't worry. Which kind of makes sense. I'm just going to see if there's any enemies nearby. There are not. Okay. So, like I said, it kind of makes sense there's just no gas in the gas tank, because I'm sure people have already siphoned it out. As you can see, none of the... What? Okay, that happened. Alright, I don't know what that was about, but apparently I did something that activated something that did nothing. But, alright. So anyway, the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone's where the PvP and the fun stuff happens. The Dark Zone is basically where the virus has been contained, let's say. It's pretty much a lawless land. Go in there at your own risk, but this is where you're going to find the best gear in the game. Now, hopefully I don't get killed. I very much probably will, but that's part of the fun of the game. Now, we're in the safe zone. Can't use weapons or skills here. This is pretty much your safe area to go into. As you can see, a new experience level just popped up, 12. You have a specific DZ experience and DZ currency.
Take a look.
DZ being Dark Zone,
Everything you
obviously.
need.
My wallet right now is a lot higher than it used to be. That's weird. But as you can see, you can buy certain gear. Okay, that I might want to invest in, because that raises my firearm significantly. Anyway, I'll do that at another time. But as you can see, if I equipped that, my primary DPS would actually increase by over 400. So, you know, you can build your character any way you really want to. You can build a very high stamina character to have a lot of health and just be tanky. Or you can just deal a lot of damage, maybe equip a marksman rifle like I have, and be able to one-shot people in the head, which I can. But skill powers, again, you can heal yourself a lot if you have a high skill power. You can do a lot of damage with your sticky bomb and all that fun stuff. But as you see, you can buy weapon mods, backpacks, all sorts of accessories, even just straight up guns if you really want to. I should really actually invest in that, because I need a better primary sidearm, because it's the same one I started with. But as you can see, and I did not show you the stash, which is kind of a shame. But as you can see, I have 26.
Biohazard warning. Entering contaminated zone.
Thank you, voice in my controller. So I'm going to use the gate. We are now
Transmissions jammed.
in the Dark Zone.
Proximity coverage only.
As you can see,
Activated. System rebooted.
I'm trying to do a video here. As you can see, I put on...
Warning. Entering dark zone.
I'm in the dark... Alright. As you see, I put on a mask. This mask is vital for me to... Oh man, there's so much going on right now I need to explain. Okay, that red area right there, that is a contaminated zone. If I go into the contaminated zone, I will find better gear and loot drops. One is down here. There's usually some mobs down here, but being the beta, it's usually farmed to death. Okay, as you see, the extraction zone over there. When you find items in the Dark Zone, they will be contaminated. You cannot remove them unless you go to an extraction zone. If you look at my inventory, there's an 8 of 36, which is my normal gear, and a 0 of 6. That is the contaminated items that I have in my inventory currently. Whew. This is gonna be hard. In order to get those items into your real inventory, you need to extract them. This is the Dark Zone. Not a very large area, but there's extraction areas that you must go to in order to extract said items. When you go to the extract zone, you must fire a flare into the air, which is going to activate an extraction arriving in 1 minute and 30 seconds. While you wait for that, after those 1 minute and 30 seconds come, a chopper comes and you put your gear onto a zip line, which they then extract. They say, congratulations, you now have stuff waiting in your stash back at the base of operations. There. That's a player. actually gonna applaud him. That is an actual player. Okay, now, as you see when I aim at him, it says non-hostile agent. You can shoot other agents and become something known as rogue. Hopefully I had some red skulls up on my little mini-map indicator earlier. That is what a rogue is. If I was actually near a rogue, I would actually see a skull floating around, running around. That is the actual player. They will have a countdown timer. So if you would kill a player, I'm trying to make this as good as I can. If you kill another player, you will become a rogue for 90 seconds. During that time, everybody in the vicinity can see where you are and can try to kill you. While you are a rogue, like I said, everybody can see you on the map. As you can see, I can't see anybody on my map. Even regular PCs, which they will not show up. But a rogue will, and you can chase them down. That'll be like a little red skull floating around. See, I just saw that PC over there. He's definitely not a rogue. I don't really want to aim at him, so I'm just going to wave. He was behind a truck, so... so hopefully he doesn't try to kill me. Well, or maybe he does, that's great. But as you can see, that little biohazard symbol thing over there, that indicates that there is a contaminated zone. That's why I have my mask on. Contaminated zones will have a rating. As you can see, required filter 1. My mask is a...
Warning. You are now entering a contaminated area.
Yes. I have a mask that is level 1, so I can roam this freely. If it was a contaminated level 2, I would have maybe 10 seconds. You basically cannot run around a zone.
Leaving contaminated area.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so... okay, I covered the gear. Covered extraction. Oh, by the way, okay. So, here's where the PvP element comes in. If you want gear, you can either go find and kill NPCs yourself, named NPCs, which will drop, colored gear. I do not have any items on me that are contaminated. Neither does this gentleman. You can tell that by a yellow canister on the back of their person. That is how you can tell they have contaminated items. Now, as a evil player, and you want items, you can kill that person and take their items. I'm trying to go to that red skull right now so you can see what a rogue is. So, basically, what a good strategy is, or what a strategy is that people utilize... I don't want to go in there because I don't want the damn thing to talk to me again. What a strategy that people utilize is they will go to an extraction point because you can only activate an extraction point if you have contaminated items to extract. While you are waiting at the extraction zone, people will probably try to come and kill you. An easy way to determine if they are there to kill you is if they come with no contaminated items, no contaminated canister. That is a clear indicator that they are there with ill intent, because the only reason you would want to be in an extraction zone is to extract your items. If they have no extracted items, they are probably going to kill you and extract your items themselves, and get credit for it. That's pretty much the PvP basis of this game. The more people you kill in rogue status, your timer goes up. And if you are able to survive that entire time, when that countdown hits 0, you get a lot of experience, DZ cash, the whole shebang. Now, this is actually one of my favorite places to go, but it's probably farmed, as you can see people running around. The beta is very small. But I want to... Oh, there are enemies in here. Okay. See, now he's just being fun. See, now he shot me. And you get a little grace period with... I don't know what he's trying to do. See, I have no items. See? you have a small grace period. As you can see, he's red, but he's not rogue. But there he just turned rogue. Thank you. That is actually what I'm looking for. As you can see, he now has a countdown timer. That was perfect. It's like he heard me, and I don't even have my mic on. That's great. As you can see, he has a counter that's going down. When that hits 0, he is able to collect on his you're able to collect. So there is an element of good stuff in there, and I'm going to remember his name because I'm going to go hunt him down. But you lose money, DZ keys, which are used for chests in the area, and DZ experience. Now, being that 12 is pretty much the max right now, it's not really that bad of a thing. Now, let's talk about impressions of the beta, now that I'm almost 30 minutes into this video and wasted your time. This is still in the Dark Zone, by the way. This is the Dark Zone vendor in the safe room. As you can see, there you go, high end. High end is the yellow/orange types of weapons here. Now, thoughts about the game. Let's just take a moment here. Thoughts about this game. I think it's cool. Like I said, they took the Gears of War combat and mixed it in with the loot ability, the loot system of Borderlands, and they used the PvP of an anime called Sword Art Online. Now, Sword Art Online is an anime where it's kind of like an MMO. The players kill each other. They have an indicator over their head of red, which is, a way to tell if they're player killers. And when I saw that anime, I thought that was a really cool idea, and nothing really does that in an MMO, an actual game MMO, to my knowledge. So when I found out The Division was doing that, I was kind of not really surprised. I was kind of happy, because it was a really cool idea, in my opinion. But in this, if you kill somebody and your timer runs out, well, you're shit out of luck, because you're not gonna hunt them down, because if you attack them, then you become rogue, and you're the bad guy all of a sudden, which is one of my big complaints about this. If somebody wrongs you, and then you go try to hunt them down or find them, and they're not rogue, they can just sit there and do jumping jacks in front of you, and, they can mock you, really. There was an instance where I was tracking down a group of 2 people, and their timer was running low, and they split up, so I chased one down. Well, his timer ran out, and I forget exactly what happened, but his timer ran out, and, I was just hanging around, so I went to leave, and his buddy came up. Of course, they're not rogue right now, but I know they're player killers. So I couldn't do anything. I was stuck. I was by myself and these 2 guys. So guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna wait for me to shoot them. Guess who becomes rogue? Me! And then they kill me. So it's a little weird right now how you can really, I don't know. It's just really weird in that regard. In order to get loot, the best loot, honestly, in the beta is stuff you buy. I have been at level 8 for a long time, and I've never found a purple. I had to buy this purple. I didn't get any drops. And even if you do get the drops, you have to go and extract it. If you don't extract it, people kill you and take your stuff, and you don't get it, which is okay. I mean, that's a nice little thing about it. But it's cool. The PvP is cool, but I think it's going to be limited in a sort of way. I mean, PvP is going to be very hard to do solo. I mean, you're going to need to run around with a 4-player group as player killers just in order to even get loot. I don't know. There's a lot of potential for this game. Absolutely a lot of potential. But it just feels to me that while I love the idea of their PvP, I don't know, it's just... It needs some work. It does need some work. I had some things I wanted to say about PvP, but I don't remember them right now. I'll probably just add it in a comment later, or just add it in the thing. But it's going to be really hard, if not impossible, as a solo rogue, because, well, you're on the map, and you're going to have every single player in the vicinity hunting you down, because they get stuff for killing you. And you can't shoot back as a rogue, because if you do, your timer resets. So you'll go right back to 90, even if you were at 15 seconds left. So you, as a rogue, you just have to run around and hope your timer runs out and not get killed. That doesn't really seem like a lot of fun to me. So you either have to just stick around and kill a lot of people, by the way. If you do that, you become marked. You become a marked man. And you have a giant timer. I forget exactly what the timer is, but everybody can see you. When you're a regular rogue, people can only see you in the vicinity, but when you're a marked man, everybody can see your position. You're not hiding at all. So, that's my impression of, Tom Clancy's The Division. I know I haven't uploaded any videos in a while, but I do hope that you at least stick out for at least half of this video. All my videos that I normally make recently are long-winded, and I try to fit everything in there like I did with the Dark Souls, just on and on and on and on. But thank you guys for watching. My name's Crafty, and I will hopefully see you when this game comes out. I'm gonna get it. And for PS4, you kind of need people to play with in the Dark Zone to be safe. So, I hope you guys join me, and take care, guys. Bye-bye. And game on.